So now we will discuss about the causes and then consequences of the deforestation. So we will begin with the causes of deforestation. Causes of deforestation. That means why do we cut the trees? What is the need of cutting the trees? So the general practice of cutting, first of all we need to define the deforestation. So what is the meaning of deforestation? I hope it is very clear, because before this also I have explained that the cutting of tree and using that land for some other purpose is known as deforestation. So what are the different causes? Why do we cut the trees? Maybe for mining purpose, for the agriculture use. So there are different uses. I'll just write the points over here. For agriculture, mining, then for the roads, railway tracks, then even because of overgrazing the deforestation occurs. Sometimes the natural fire is also responsible. So natural fire, then the natural calamities like drought and the floods, many diseases, and for the construction of dams, for the construction of buildings, these all are the reasons. And apart from this, many other reasons can also be there for the for the medicines. We remove the plants. Many are there. You can always keep on adding something in this list. So what is deforestation? To cut off the plant and the trees is known as deforestation. And why do we cut the plants? We cut the plants because we think that there is much more things which we can do where these plants are growing, and we think that these plants are of no use, and that is the reason the human beings cut the plants and does something which is very much more important, and that is only the mistake which we are making. So agriculture, as it is discussed in some of the previous lecture also, that agriculture purpose is also one of the reason. That means the population is increasing, keep on adding, population is increasing, and that is the reason we need more place to live in. And when we need more place to live in, we keep on cutting the trees. We keep on constructing and we keep on cutting the trees. Construction. We make dams, we make roads, railway tracks, and all these things. For all these things, the trees are being cut off. So these all are the causes of the deforestation. Now what are the consequences? Consequences are more important to understand, because once we understand the consequences, then only these causes can be reduced. So I hope all this is very clear, that when natural fire occurs, it burns everything. Many animals and plants they die, they get burned and they die. Then natural calamities, when we talk about natural calamities, it can be anything. Maybe earthquake due to which the animals and plants die, many trees falls down, maybe many a times the strong winds is responsible for falling of many trees, and drought, when there is no water, many animals and plants they die just because of the unavailability of the water. Then diseases, this is also very severe reason, very serious reason. Many plants and animals suffer from various diseases, and this is also the reason of the destruction of the plants and animals' lives. Then this is all, like we have discussed that we have to make dams, then bridges, then other construction work has to be done, and wood has to be used for furnitures, for construction, for buildings, and that is the reason we kill the fall the trees. Now we will talk about the consequences of the deforestation. Consequences of deforestation. Now, when first of all the plant falls, that means the habitat get destroyed. So, habitat get destroyed. So, due to deforestation, the biggest consequence or the result will be the loss of habitat. That means when the one thing becomes a reason for the another thing. Like deforestation is for cutting of trees, which becomes the reason of the loss of habitat of many animals, and thus killing of animals. That means indirectly the animals, we can say, due to deforestation the animals will be killed. They become homeless, they do not get proper food. So, this is the one consequence of deforestation, loss of habitat. Now, second one is water table. Water table will be disturbed like anything. We have discussed that when it rains, the water get absorbed by the soil, and plants play a very important role in this. Plant helps in absorbing the water, and it maintains the water level that means the water level in the ground. And when the trees will not be there, definitely the water table will be disturbed. Now, the third thing is the soil erosion. Now, we all know that the plants hold the soil very firmly. It does not allow the soil to flow off along with the rainwater. And when there is no plants and no trees on the surface of the earth, what will happen when it will rain heavily? The fertile layer, the upper layer, the most important layer of the soil will get washed away. It will get mixed up with the rain water, it will get dissolved in that, and it will be off, it will get off. And this will lead to what? Now, what will be left due to soil erosion? What will happen? The upper layer, the fertile layer, upper layer of the soil, upper layer of the soil will be washed, and it will give rise to what? Only the rocky layer will be left. The rocky layer will be left, and what will happen now? The further forestation will not be possible. It won't be possible for the the tree. Even if the seed comes over there, the new plant will not grow over there. That means in this way the desertification takes place. That means that part converts into the desert. So, desertification takes place. Desertification takes place means, see, the upper layer will be washed off, now the lower rocky layer will be left, and slowly what will happen, that the plant won't be able to grow, and that particular part will get converted slowly into desert. In this way the desertification will takes place. So soil, to maintain the fertile layer, to hold the soil, the upper layer is very important. In absence of the plants, in absence of the trees, this is not possible, and that is the reason that plantation, the trees has to be there. And this soil erosion, what I am saying, one thing give rise to the another one. If the plants are not there, the habitat will be destroyed, the animals will be killed, the soil will be washed off, and when the soil, the fertile soil is getting washed off, again the small plants which grow, the grass normally which grows, even that grass won't be able to grow. Again this will increase the desertification, and the water level will also go down. That means the water won't be absorbed now properly, because even the plants are not there, the small grass is not there, and that part has converted into desert, or the rocky layer has come. So rocks never absorb water. So what will happen now, the soil erosion will take place, and the water level will also decrease. The habitat is already getting destroyed. Okay, now what next? Now the oxygen and carbon dioxide cycle get disturbed. Oxygen and carbon dioxide cycle get disturbed. Now we all know that animals need oxygen, and the animals releases carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is utilized by the plants in the process of photosynthesis, and they again release oxygen, and this cycle continues. But when the number of plants get decreased, the carbon dioxide won't be utilized. When the carbon dioxide won't be utilized, first of all what will happen, the oxygen will get reduced. The oxygen level will get reduced because the plants are not there to take the carbon dioxide and to release the oxygen. Now the next thing what will happen, the temperature will increase, that means the global warming will takes place. Global warming will takes place. When the plants are there, they utilize the carbon dioxide, maintain the oxygen and the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. Now when the plants are not there, automatically oxygen will be reduced and carbon dioxide will increase. The best part of the carbon dioxide is that it traps the heat. You must be surprised at why I am saying that it is the best part. It is very, very important for us, it is very, very beneficial for us, it is very, very useful for us. Which property? This one, that the carbon dioxide absorbs heat, it traps the heat, sun's heat. When the carbon dioxide absorbs the heat, traps the sun's heat, the temperature on the earth is bearable. We all can survive on the surface of earth even in the absence of the sun. What I mean to say is, if carbon dioxide will not absorb the heat, nothing will go wrong in the daytime. But at night, when the sun will not be there, the temperature will become very low. That means the difference between the temperature of the day and night will increase. It will be very difficult for us to be there on the surface of the earth. So this property is very important because carbon dioxide absorbs the sun's heat and maintains the bearable temperature on the surface of the earth. Suitable temperature, we are able to survive in nights also, even when the sun is not there. It doesn't become very cold. But this property becomes harmful when the level of the carbon dioxide increases. See what carbon dioxide is doing? Carbon dioxide is absorbing, trapping the heat, traps the sun's heat. It traps the sun's heat. It is good for us because it maintains the temperature at night also. Temperature at night also is also maintained. But when this carbon dioxide increases, when the carbon dioxide increases, and it is increasing because of the pollution also, and on the top of that, when the plants will not be there or plants get reduced, so what will happen? The carbon dioxide will increase. Carbon dioxide will increase. Why it will increase? Because of deforestation. We are reading the consequences of the deforestation. So when the plants will not be there, so CO2 will increase. So what will happen? The carbon dioxide will absorb more heat. So more heat will be trapped. More heat will be trapped. And so the temperature of the earth will increase, and the rise in the temperature of the earth is known as global warming, which is very, very dangerous for us. Even the slightest increase in the temperature, you know what happens then? It melts the glaciers. When the glacier melts, the water reaches the sea, and the sea level increases, and the towns, the cities, the countries, or the part which is very near to the sea, it gets submerged into the sea. So many things are connected. Just by deforestation, the carbon dioxide get increased, it will trap more heat, the temperature will increase, the glacier will melt, the sea level will increase, and the cities, the part near the sea will submerge. So much of influence, you know. So what's wrong in planting the trees? What's wrong in not cutting the trees? Just save trees, isn't it? No. So this part is very, very dangerous. Now, it also affects the rainfall. We all know that transpiration plays very important role in the rainfall. I don't have to explain now water cycle, isn't it? So this rainfall also get affected. It also get reduced, and when rainfall get reduced, it give rise to drought. Water is not there. When water is not there, again it will kill lot of animals and plants. So just one reason is increasing, you know, responsible for making many reasons for the death of the animals and the plants. So rainfall also get reduced, it get reduced. Rainfall get reduced. Now water cycle also get affected. It is same only, children. Water cycle also get affected. So many reasons are there. I have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 8 will be there. Now when the rainfall is not there, drought is there, definitely the climate is changing. The climate will change. So it also affects the climate. The temperature will become high. Temperature will become high, again it will be responsible for the death of many organisms, many animals and plants. So just by cutting the trees, one thing is occurs and it is responsible for so many things. You know, I just can see over here that how one thing is connected with the another thing. And the consequences of all this thing will be one more, that we won't be able to get forest products. forest products will be reduced. We won't be able to get the forest product. So we are talking about the causes of deforestation. We discussed the causes of deforestation. Why do we cut the trees? What is the need to cut the trees? So we have discussed over here that for making dams and buildings and bridges and for the railway tracks and the roads and so many things were discussed, that for all these things we need to cut the trees, even for the sake of the agriculture. So all this, what it leads to? It leads to deforestation. Deforestation means the cutting of the trees and making the or using the land in some other thing. Now when the this deforestation occurs, then what is the result of deforestation? Deforestation leads to the complete destruction of the habitat, and that is the reason the animals come out of the jungle and they come, you might have seen many a times such kind of news, in the television, that in such place the leopard has come out and was found in the city. Why these animals are leaving their houses? Because we are destroying their houses, where they are going to live. So habitat is getting destructed, is destroyed. So again, now the other natural thing also get disturbed. The water won't be able to absorb in the soil because the plants won't be there. It will reduce the water in the ground, and the soil erosion will also occur. That means the plants are not there to hold the soil, and so the upper layer will be washed off, water cycle will be disturbed, and the rainfall will be decreased. When the rainfall will be decreased, again it will give to the natural calamities like drought. When the drought will be there, again the animals will be killed, the plants will be falling down. In such kind of adverse condition, again the diseases increases. The diseases increases, and again it will be responsible, or it is responsible for killing more of animals and plants. So these all are the consequences of the deforestation. These all are the results of deforestation. So now what has to be done? What should be done? Just what all are the reasons? We need to sort the reasons. So the points will be same. Now just whatever negative part is there, we need to work upon that and need to produce a positive effect from this negative part. So what all can be done to convert the negative effect of the deforestation, how it can be done, and just we will discuss that. Please note all these points. Now we will talk about how the forest can be conserved. So what are the steps which need to be taken to conserve the forest? So conservation of the forest. Now the first thing which we need to do is to plant the trees. The first and utmost important is plantation. We need to plant the trees. Without planting trees, how we can increase the number? So afforestation. What is the meaning of afforestation? Planting trees. Just planting of trees is not enough. When we talk about the natural forestation, one more important thing which I need to want to discuss still is, when the forest get destroyed. When the forest get destroyed, if that place is left untouched, if human doesn't interfere, and what will happen, again the natural forest will be developed. Forest has that much of, that means the natural thing has their own ways to develop, to reform, to get back. So even when the natural forests get destroyed, nature has so much of power that forests get developed within certain time. So it should be left untouched. Human interference should not be done. And when we talk about afforestation, that means wherever we see the barren land, empty land, vacant land, the plants should be planted. Just planting of trees is not enough. In the earlier stages, we need to take care of the plants also. It is not possible that each and every plant which you plant will be converted into tree. In the earlier stages, you need to take care. So just planting the tree is not enough. When we plant the trees in our colonies, in nearby areas, it becomes more important, because humans are there, we destroy the things, and stray animals may eat, and so many things are there, need to water, and many things are there. So the plants need to be taken care of, and we need to plant more and more trees. Before cutting one tree, we should plant more, at least 3 more plants. So first thing is, we should plant trees, and cutting of trees should be stopped. Cutting of trees should be stopped, especially from the forest areas. The trees shouldn't be allowed to cut. So if the trees has to be cut, then need to plant more trees first of all. Now the rules are there, the regulations are there, but the laws has to be strict. Strict laws has to be made, or laws has to be or should be followed. But when it will be followed? Only when the laws will become strict. That means the punishment will be there. The punishment will be there, and then only the person, the humans, will refrain from the habit of cutting the trees. That means there is need to have very strong laws, so that the person do not even dare to cut the trees from the forest area. Now, overgrazing or grazing from the forest area should be prohibited. Overgrazing should be prevented. We have studied that how overgrazing leads to deforestation, or not deforestation, sorry, but how overgrazing leads to desertification. When the cattle keep on eating the grass from one place, the grass doesn't get times to develop again, but it is pulled up again. What will happen? That part becomes with grassless. There is no grass left. That means it becomes open and it becomes naked, and whenever it rains strongly, the upper layer of the soil get washed away. It will lead to soil erosion and slowly desertification. It will decrease the fertility of the soil. So it is very important that overgrazing should be prevented, and this all I am talking especially of the forest area. In the forest area, the cattle shouldn't be allowed, or grazing from one place only, again grazing at particular area should be avoided. Even when I say that grazing at one area should be avoided, it doesn't mean that the one part is grazed and they shift to the another part. In this way, the whole forest, the particular part get destroyed. So this has to be taken care of. Now, need to deal with forest fire. it's very difficult. Naturally, when fire occurs, the fire, we all know fire spreads very fast, and it's really difficult to control the fire. And we all know the in fire many animals and plants die, they get killed. But still we need to find certain ways, even the blowers are there, which if the strong blowers are used, the blowers can change the direction of the wind. And even the fire extinguishers, I shouldn't say, but the water should be used. So much of facilities need to be developed. So much of the facilities need to be developed which can become active in no time. The government has to think how it has to be done, but need to tackle with this. A forest fire destroys a lot many things, and so it need to be dealt. Now the disease. The disease plants need to be taken off and should be burned. Why it should be burned? If it is taken out and just left like that only, again the microorganisms are there, they exist and they will spread the disease, they won't stop, and in this way the disease will spread. Diseases are also responsible for destroying many plants, many plants and many animals just get destroyed because of the diseases. So it is very important to keep control on the diseases, maybe by certain sprays, by use of certain chemicals or the medicines or the sprays, or by destroying the diseased plant, or by using certain measures to keep a control on the disease. So diseased plants can be plucked off, can be burnt, and can be separated. Diseased animal can be separated. So many facilities nowadays we have. So something should be done regarding the diseases and the forest fire. This is how we can conserve the forest, and we can, just by planting trees and not cutting off the trees, so many problems will be solved automatically. The habitat will be there, it won't be destroyed, soil erosion will be protected, water cycle will be proper, carbon and oxygen cycle, carbon dioxide and oxygen cycle will be proper, then the temperature will be proper, global warming can be prevented, pollution can be reduced. So many things will be solved automatically just by planting the trees, and so we need to plant the trees. This is one part. If you remember, we were reading the conservation of biodiversity. How biodiversity can be conserved, in that 2 points were there. One point was conservation of forest, and the second was conservation of wildlife. So before discussion of conservation of forest, I started with that what is the importance of the forest, why do we need to have forest, then the causes why the deforestation takes place, and the consequences of the deforestation, and then the conservation of the forest. This is, if you note now we will be moving to the next point of conservation of biodiversity, that is conservation of wildlife. So now we will talk about the conservation of wildlife. Please note this.